you consider yourself wide?
Well, he's wider than a normal person.
No, well, I mean, just because. I mean,
I've put on like 60 pounds since I saw you.
Oh, okay, all right, fair.
Muscle though, right?
Yeah, like so for the jacket,
man.
For the jacket, I need a 45. 45 regular because it's like I'm a little bigger than the 44, but I'm short, so the jacket's long. It's just a pain in the ass.
So are they like taking it up for you?
I'm gonna have to, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's brutal.
Get some nice, but I figure if I'm doing that, I may as well get some nice, like a Slayer logo on the inside or something.
There you go. What you need to do was if you were gonna do it, you should have got the Conor McGregor suit that just said "fuck you" stitched in real square letters.
You know,
but you probably could wear that into court for what you.
I probably could, but just the once.
Yeah,
like you do that more than once, you're really just like.
It should be like a reversible suit, so like you can just like leave and come back in after a bathroom break, and it's like a gray suit or something that they don't even know what the hell happened. Anyways,
like a Mission Impossible jacket.
Or it'd be like a weird '90s reversal where like outside it's normal and then inside it's like neon green or something.
Yeah,
I could do that.
I agree.
These gummy bears are good.
Slayer would be cool.
Comes back into court looking like a Cuban pimp. It'd be great.
When I was suit shopping, it made me think of a Liar Liar. when he kicks his own ass, like, who did this to you? A madman, Your Honor. I love that movie. That movie is not good, but it is fucking hilarious. Horrible. It's horrible, but it's awesome. Same with it. Like last night, I watched Police Academy.
Oh no, Police Academy is the best.
Well, man. Okay, 1 through 3 are genuinely great comedies.
Yeah, I mean, and it's 1 through 3. Because originally I was looking to getting the collection, but I only wanted 1 through 3, but you have to buy them in the collection, and I don't want to own 5, 6, and I think they made a 7th too.
I think they did. Did they make us? I knew they made 6. But I think
last one I watched was where they went to Mission to Moscow.
That was 5, I believe.
And
because 6 was Under Siege. 4, I don't remember what 4 was.
Okay, what 4 was the Citizens on Patrol?
No, 3 was Citizens.
Was that 3?
3 was Citizens on Patrol. Because that's where they brought in like the crazy old lady that was basically Tagle Perry's grandmother.
We're gonna have to do like a Police Academy
deep dive. I would.
Mission to Moscow was the 7th one.
7th one.
Okay. What was 5 then?
You guys like Spaceballs, right?
Love Spaceballs. I made a joke at work and nobody fucking got it now. It's depressing.
Dominic sent me a picture. Someone made a meme from the Avengers reveal where they show like the Avengers from the movie and then they show the Avengers from the game. They're like, "You idiots! These aren't them. They're the
these are the doubles. You got the stunt doubles." Yeah. Oh god, it's the best.
That is so brilliant. It works so well too. Where they comb the desert, that's still hands down my favorite.
We ain't found shit.
Oh, what a movie.
You're looking at now, sir. What you're seeing now is happening now. What happened to then? We missed it.
When? Just now.
And will now be then.
Soon. Oh,
Spaceballs, the movie.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
The kids love this one.
What a movie. What a film.
Yeah, that's a film.
It's got so many good jokes. The Druish princess and oh man.
Funny.
She
doesn't look Druish.
I'm a mob. Half man, half dog.
I'm my own best friend.
The coat on the luggage.
Yeah. That's the joke I made at work, and nobody got it. And I was like, oh, God.
Well, I love that the show Archer has carried that joke with, like, let's try guest. Really? That works?
Yeah.
What a movie.
Joke.
I imagine Corey's never seen it. Corey, have you seen Spaceballs?
Yeah, I own Spaceballs.
Whoa!
Yes.
That was quite the turn of events there.
No, I'm actually really impressed.
Corey earns the respect of his peers finally.
Yeah, that was like a unanimous.
I like the
no one's
scene
ever
at the
gotten a standing.
I like the
applause.
scene at the beginning where the ship, it takes like 10 minutes to scroll across the screen.
Oh yeah, that's great. Great.
And like it was funny because like in an interview, Mel Brooks said that he wanted that scene to go on for like an hour. But he knew the studio wouldn't let them do that. And he's like, well, that's just a bad movie, but it was funny to me.
No,
it is funny. That's like the Andy Kaufman where he purposely puts the static on the thing so someone gets up and bangs the TV.
These young kids, they're like, what is static?
Yeah,
Right.
They don't know what trolling really is.
well, I love how in my job I can actually like if I take an X-ray that's like poor technique, I could say it looks like snow from TVs in the 80s, and only a certain age demographic knows what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever like had a day where you just want to fuck with people and you take the X-ray and you're like, ooh. You're like, and there's like nothing wrong with it. You just fuck with them?
I mean, have I had those days? Yes. Have I done it? No, because it is completely unethical.
Well, yes.
Like, I mean, the only time I could do that is in like the trauma bay where someone has basically broken a limb and like everybody in the room knows it's broken. So I can say, oh man, that's fucked up.
Fucking broken.
like you did that right. And most of the time they look at me and go, yeah, it's real broken, huh? I'm like, yeah.
Do you do MRIs as well?
Mm-mm.
No? Is that a separate license,
it's a separate certification. It's not really like the ARRT license that I have sort of prepared. Like you get base preparation for MRI, CT, ultrasound, mammography. Like you get like an intro to all that, and then if you want to get certified, then you can actually perform it. I've always wanted to learn MRI. I don't like performing the studies though. The studies are very boring. Like not like from an intellectual standpoint, but from like a labor standpoint, because you have to put someone basically in a tomb for like an hour to get an image, and while I like the images, I think the images are awesome looking, and they're fascinating to look at, but I don't like doing the work.
That's fair. I don't like doing work either.
Right, but I do like doing X-rays. Like I know.
I'm just fucking.
I like the problem solving that goes into that. We should probably start. What do you guys say?
Oh, no, we haven't started?
No.
This is the pre-show.
Yeah, this is pre-show.
Pre-show.
All right, I'll finish my gummy worms pre-show.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go into the YouTube chat because I have not yet. Is anybody else in there?
No,
I'm in there.
I mean, I'm in there, but
Nobody in there. Okay. Then I'm running low on screen space, so Moose, you're in charge of chat tonight.
Sure.
you know, if you got a bigger screen, Matt, you wouldn't run out of screen space.
That's true. That's true. Maybe in 2020, I will finally I will finally shit into the pot of getting a PC.
Yes! Sorry.
And then in 2021, you'll either have to upgrade it or throw it away.
Yep.
Oh.
It's not.
That's only if Matt's not the one building it.
Well, I mean, I've had this discussion with Phillips, like, or at least I've mentioned it to him. Like, if anything, I'm probably just gonna go buy one at a store rather than try to build it.
You can buy a pre-built for sure.
But like, I think the way I asked Phillips that is like, I'm like, is this just the wrong way to go? He's like, look, if you're gonna do it, talk to me about what's in it, and I'll help you shop that way. And I'm more comfortable going that route than worrying about putting it together.
You really don't have to upgrade very often, especially because I would assume that PS5 is probably going to be your primary gaming platform.
Most likely. Well, it depends. Like, I mean, the way things are looking like now, like while I still do like trophies and whatnot, I'd actually like to I'd like to play games that I don't have access to. Like like more. I'd like to actually dip my toe into overarching strategy games because I've never really done that.
The thing for you guys is, like, I think PC has a large library of PC only games that appeal directly to both of you, specifically all the indies that have not made their way over or don't make their way over. But all the AAA stuff you can play on your console.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the stuff that you guys would be interested in, you could build a really inexpensive PC that would be good for this and for playing whatever you like. It'd be very inexpensive, especially just because I assume that your PS5 for trophies, the majority of your stuff would be there, and you would always be treating your PC like the way a lot of people treat a PlayStation. Like, you play it for the exclusives.
Yeah.
Everything else you get on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be very inexpensive. You really don't, even if at the top end, you don't have to upgrade very often.
All right. How are the gummy worms doing, Phillips? We done?
I'll just mute myself when I want to eat one.
Okay. Oh, Corey left. Nope. Is he leaving? I almost wanted him to scratch his butt there. That would have been funny.
goes right up.
I was like, he's gonna scratch, isn't he? Come on. Did you get that, Corey?
What?
I honestly was hoping you scratched your butt just now, like when you stood up.
No, my butt doesn't itch, but my pants are falling down because they're too big.
Still
Which is a
losing
good
weight?
thing.
What?
Still losing weight?
Yep.
Awesome. Happy to hear
I've
it.
lost 67 pounds.
Nice.
Fuck. Good job, man. Good for you.
My new goal is to lose 100.
Cool. Do you have a time? You have like a deadline, or
Nah.
just go to hit triple digits? Good for you, man.
We'll just see what
That's awesome,
happens,
man.
you know?
No, honestly, good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, just gonna keep rolling. Just
Hey, man, when it stops, it stops, you know?
That's right.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing. Like when a lot of people try and do their weight loss challenges, they're like, "This is my goal. This is the day I'm gonna lose it." And it's just like you're just setting yourself up for failure because you're not gonna hit your goals like you think you are, and then you get discouraged, and then everything goes to shit. Whereas if you just keep doing what you're doing, one foot in front of the other, you get there eventually.
One of the easiest ones to do is just use the mirror. It's like the scale really doesn't mean anything, and you could weigh a different weight in the morning and at night, and just using the mirror and how your clothes fit and stuff, like that's usually the easiest way to go.
Yeah, I usually just weigh myself in the morning, like on Saturdays, and then I usually just eat whatever I want on the weekend, and then during the week I'll just go back to the diet, and that's been working fine. So
Nice.
Okay, just so you know, we're gonna go directly. We're gonna skip what we've been playing.
great, let's go.
That's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it.
Briefly go into it at the very end.
All right, let's go. It's 9:20.
All right,
Got an hour, 10 minutes.
3, 2, 1. And you who philosophize disgrace and criticize all fears, take the rag away from your face. Now ain't the time for your tears. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 150. My name is Matthew Keogh. You can find me at @infinite_rewind on every social media platform. Alongside me, we've got a full house today, everyone. We've got double legend himself, Corey Dierig. Say hi.
Hi.
He can be found at Corey in HD713 on Twitter. Corey in HD everywhere else except PlayStation, where he is Rogue Spartan 4. Mouth from the South, we got the Moose here. How are you, Moose?
Doing well. What's up, party people?
You can find him at Sven, SVHENN, everywhere. And he's everywhere you want to be honest with you. And last but not least, definitely not least, we have the single shining Nerds Gone Rogue exclusive, Captain Canada. How are you, sir?
I am great.
The Canadian eye candy returns.
Yes.
It's been too long. You've been gone a long time. We've missed you.
We were having a long playoff run. Now that the playoffs are done, I'm ready to come back.
Cool.
All right.
So you can find us on our website, nerdsgonerogue.com, you can find all our shows there. The NX show, Nerds Gone Platinum, which is hosted by Moose. You can also find us at youtube.com/NGR Radio, as well as twitch.tv/NGR or Nerds Gone Rogue. YouTube.com/Nerds Gone Rogue. I'm still getting used to that. At twitch.tv/Nerds Gone Rogue. That's where we go live.
I think everything has been moved to Nerds Gone Rogue.
Good.
There is no more NGR Radio.
That's. I've been waiting for that thing to. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm kidding, Corey. I'm kidding. That was more a self-deprecation joke than a shot at you.
Sorry, everybody.
You have nothing to apologize for. So you can find us,
attitude.
Right? So youtube.com/Nerds Gone Rogue, twitch.tv/Nerds Gone Rogue. We go live every Monday night, usually between 8:30 and 9. We are a little late because we had some technical difficulties tonight. Our podcast goes live on every podcast app you can imagine, including Spotify and iHeartRadio, the following Monday morning, as well as our freshly edited video as done by Double Legend himself, Corey Gehrig. Gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry for everybody watching live. I accidentally uploaded last week's episode today, so my bad.
That happens. It's fine. Nobody here is mad at you, and if anybody else is, well, sometimes life ain't fair. So E3 happened last week, and I know from the offline chat that we've all sort of participated in, all of us have had some thoughts. We could go into every single conference, but I don't really think this is the show for it.
Let's do it.
Because
let's start with Google Stadia. No, I'm just kidding.
Because it's not really that's not really how we do. I mean, if we were in, I think
it's too organized for us.
Well, there's that, but it'll go on forever. I know. Eventually, like we'll just run out of steam. So let's talk highlights. I have to be brutally honest with all three of you at this point. I've had a really weird week. I've been trying to. I've watched everything from E3 at least once, and I've been trying to catch up to the point where I could like bring some actual, thoughts to this conversation. But some personal things have sort of kept me from really putting a lot of energy into it. So I'm probably going to contribute the least here. So I kind of want to just, I'm kind of just going to moderate between the three of you. I hope that's okay. Okay. And when things come up that I do have thoughts on, I'll probably jump in. So E3, gentlemen, yep. I'm gonna start with Corey.
Yeah.
General thoughts.
It was I don't know. It was definitely a down year. I think there were exciting moments. Yeah. I think the Keanu Reeves Cyberpunk reveal was pretty I think universally thought as like the big moment of E3 pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Outside the Breath of the Wild 2 reveal. I think what was that face for? See, this is why I don't talk when everybody's here.
No.
Which one of us?
No. It was my face. It was my face because I'm like I don't
That's
really.
Just his face, man.
I mean, I feel like
fix your fucking face.
Be right back.
Vanilla Sky.
Like, I don't know if Breath of the Wild is one of the bigger. Breath of the Wild 2 is one of the bigger moments.
No.
I mean, no. Hang on, Moose. Hang on.
All right.
Not because like it's pretty rare for Nintendo to say, hey, we're working on the follow-up to Zelda, and the fact that it's a direct sequel. Both of those things are rare. It's sort of like Bethesda. We know they're going to work on Elder Scrolls. We know they're going to work on Fallout. We know they're going to do things. That sort of pedantic reaction aside, like I thought there were bigger moments than that. But that again,
yes,
I think like the title is huge. I think that the way
that I
they
agree
revealed it is not. That's just my personal opinion. This is almost the same as when they showed Metroid 4, and it was just a card that said the name on it.
Yeah.
They obviously had a bit more of a trailer, and I have zero doubts it's going to be a stellar game. But
yeah.
Like
and the fact that they're doing they're doing a Breath of the Wild 2 makes me happy. Like I was genuinely happy they're doing that.
Like when Sony revealed Last of Us 2, they had a long trailer at PSX that one year, and people went insane. Like that was a game that not a lot of people thought they would make, just because of the way one ends, and Naughty Dog being kind of ambiguous about it. But I don't know. The fact that it's a direct sequel is probably the most surprising thing for me. But they're making it a Zelda and another Mario, and so just for that reason, it wasn't like a huge, and just because it was just a trailer with no even window at all. Just for that reason, it wasn't like a huge announcement, but I understand why people are excited about it. Yes.
Yeah.
They turned that single minute they spent on Breath of the Wild 2 into 5, and it's basically a different conversation. Then it's like, oh, they've been doing this. Like they have they know where they're going. It's not just, hey, we're going back to Hyrule, or that Hyrule. You know what I mean?
I mean, what they showed in the trailer, I think, is what got me excited.
Well, like, yeah, you basically see the castle levitate off the ground, right?
Well, I mean, not even just that. If you watch the trailer, like I know most of you probably didn't watch it more than once or twice, but like
I watched it 4 times.
All the connections it has to the other Zelda games, like the swirling green circles and stuff, tells me that we're going to go to a different realm, like Twilight Princess or Majora's Mask. The zombie Ganon gave me Ocarina of Time, like the creepy people in the town when you're adult Link.
Okay.
Really, like I got that type of vibe. The fact that, and everybody's making memes about this, the fact that Zelda's hair is short and she's carrying a shield and a sword means that if Zelda is playable, she can wear all the same things that Link can wear because they have a similar hairstyle. The fact that it could possibly be co-op, or she's like your co-op partner that you need to switch between them to solve puzzles, and the fact that you're going to see a dark version of this world that they already built, I think is like really exciting to me. And it like the conversation surrounding it, like maybe the champions aren't dead, maybe they're stuck in this alternate dimension or in this alternate world, and you have to go find them. And that the Ganon you fought is actually crap, I forget what his name is. The guy from Skyward Sword, the last boss in Skyward Sword. That's basically the first form of Ganon, and that you're actually going to go find Ganondorf, and he takes up the mantle of Ganon and everything. Like, there's a lot in that trailer for people to dissect if you are willing to look for it.
And
I'm sorry.
Well, and I think that just sort of speaks to how Nintendo do things. Like, I know that amongst the gaming community at large, Nintendo was the best show of E3 to Nintendo fans.
Yes.
But also that's how they speak. They don't speak to the wide world. They speak to people that are already in, and then if there's...
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Nintendo had the best show. I think it had the most games that I want to play, but I don't think they had the best show. I think Microsoft's show was arguably the best.
Right, but I'm not really... That statement isn't about anybody here. It's
no, I know. I'm just throwing my 2 cents in because I know a lot of people that listen to the show know me as the Nintendo fan of this group.
I thought you were the music and movie guy.
Oh yeah, that's me too. I'm a man of many.
I've been misled this entire time.
Wait, we talk about video games on this podcast?
Moose just quit. Fuck this, I'm out.
Go back on vacation.
But yeah, but I think that the one thing, and I think this is where Sony is sort of failing with their states of play. Like, Nintendo is very good at speaking first to their fans and then putting in things to bring others in. And Sony is still trying to find their feet with the state of play. And I think inside of, I don't want to say a year from now, but inside of a year from the first one, they'll probably be a whole lot better at it than they are right now. Any further general thoughts on E3 Corey?
I mean, I think everybody just, you could really tell it's a transition year for consoles. I hated the fact that everything we saw was basically a CG trailer or an in-game engine trailer, except for like a few things that I was just like, look, I think my biggest disappointment was Gears 5, to be honest, because I wanted to see that game so bad in action, to see how are they changing the gameplay. Did they take cues from games like The Division or Ghost Recon or any of these other third-person shooters that play, I think
better?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think those games play better than Gears. Or are they taking some liberties and actually opening it up from the cover-based shooter system? Are we getting a more open world style game instead of a linear level-based game, which has been the rumor for a long time? And they only showed that weird CG trailer of Kate showing her what her mind is going through in this game, with the multiple, personalities pulling her in alternate directions, right? And then we got the CG Escape trailer, which, don't get me wrong, Escape looks cool, but that was a CG trailer. I want to see it in action. I want to see because they're transitioning Gears into almost like a hero shooter in some respects. Like, you're going to be able to choose, like, okay, well, I'm the soldier, so I can craft ammo faster, or you're the engineer. What they played a little bit with that in Gears 4 for Horde mode, but they seem to be, placing it in other modes now, and we didn't get to see any of that either. And that was really disappointing for me. They showed more gameplay of Gears Pop than they did of Gears 5. I
think they showed more gameplay last year than they did this year. Yeah.
I was going to say, that was disappointing for me too, and surprising. Because I enjoyed Microsoft's show, and I was like, ooh, this is really pulling me towards, I'll play these games on PC. Definitely, play them there. And then it was almost like towards the end, it was like, man, maybe I will just buy an Xbox until I get a PC, like next year, or like a whatever comes out.
Xbox One S is on sale for $140 at some places.
See, I would buy next gen next year. But anyways, so they did a good job of selling, their games and whatnot. But then, like you were saying, the big disappointment was, where's the gameplay footage? I think you had to watch them streaming it.
I think
show to see gameplay. It's like,
I think Halo Infinite showed more in-engine stuff than anything they showed that's exclusive. And that's a Scarlet title. So,
isn't it coming to current gen as well?
Yeah, it is. And Phil Spencer basically confirmed during the Giant Bomb review that if you buy the Xbox One version, you basically have the Scarlet version when you purchase the Scarlet, which is cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. His interview with Gerstmann, like that solo one that they do every year, that's always way more interesting than I love Phil Spencer. I love him presenting Microsoft stuff, but when the fact that he's willing to sit down and basically just answer questions, and the questions tend to dig a little bit, and he reveals so much more. I'm just like, you go, Spencer.
Then he's like, yeah, this is a little bit more professional this year. I didn't have weed above my head. Because last year they had that chalkboard, and it I went back and saw it. And I was like, yeah, it did say weed somewhere. Yep. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to Moose. What's up, Corey?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you had something. I apologize.
No, I'm getting something out of my tooth.
No worries. Moose, your boys, Sony, I guess we could say all our boys, Sony, weren't there.
Nope.
So this is a pretty boring E3 for you.
No, not really. I think they were just I think we're at the point where we've seen enough of The Last of Us 2. We could maybe see like a little bit more of Ghost of Tsushima,
Right.
but not too much, before we get to the point where it's like, when's the release date? So I think they were smart in skipping because then it turns into, well, they're just showing us the same stuff.
Or they're just showing a bunch of third party stuff.
We've seen it. So they're pretty stacked. They have those 2 exclusives coming out soon. So they've got some good content coming. Not that Xbox doesn't. Xbox has got some good stuff on the horizon. Finally. But anyways, so I was excited during the Devolver Digital E3 press conference. I didn't watch the Ubisoft one. I didn't watch EA. I think
EA, there's like, I watched the first 2 things they showed, and it after that it kind of just like, I'm not interested anymore.
Was Jedi Fallen Knights, was that shown during Microsoft?
They showed.
Okay, because that's the first time that I saw it, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And so I was like, oh,
that's
the first time I've seen that game. Like, I know people have seen trailers and stuff, and that's the first time I saw it, and I'm like, okay, this looks entertaining. I hope for Respawn's sake it does really well, because we all know I love Titanfall 2, and I want another Titanfall game, but apparently this and Apex Legends are putting it on the back burner, which is fine. Give them more time to mess around with it.
Isn't Stig on this game too?
Yeah.
Stig is, I think, the story lead, I believe. Or is he in the?
No, he's the combat director.
Okay.
But man, that game, I wish they would have shown more, because they showed this very linear action scene, and like in interviews afterwards, they're like, yeah, it's very heavily inspired by like Metroid Prime and Dark Souls and stuff like that. And I'm like, so you showed a linear combat gameplay instead of like, okay, there's this crazy these planets are interconnected that you can go to, and you need to find something on one planet to go back to another to find something else, like, I mean, I know that's really hard to show off in like a 15 or 20 minute demo or whatever, but like you can kind of convey that in a different type of gameplay setting, instead of like a linear forest or whatever. Forrest Whitaker, by the way, making an appearance.
Oh yeah, I like these Forrest
Whitaker. I thought it looked fun, to be honest.
Any further general thoughts, Moose?
Outer Worlds looks good. So like a lot of stuff that Microsoft was showing obviously is going to be multi-platform. But then it's also like brings up the question, like with the Minecraft dungeons, because that's coming to Switch. Is that just their, hey, we love Switch now, you got Cuphead, you get or is it Microsoft being like, we're gonna take a little bit of everybody's pie. We don't care.
Yeah, it's coming to PS4 also.
Oh, is it? See, I didn't know that. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So then they are. So they're like, okay, instead of being like, no, it's only exclusive here, which is smart of them to get as much money as they can get. Cyberpunk has got me slightly interested. Nintendo conference or direct was a direct. A bunch of stuff that we've seen before, but I'm looking forward to Link's Awakening. I do want to eventually get Cadence of Hyrule, which is the Crypt of the Necrodancer developers' take on Hyrule, which is cool. I just like after watching it, like I'm just ready for the fall. Like I don't think I saw anything where I'm like, I've got to have this. I mean, I'm just like I was looking at it yesterday. Like, I was looking at my PS4 and I'm like, man, like I just need to like get rid of everything I'm not really playing on here, plow through the Division 2, get the platinum, knock out a couple of indies, and then set myself up for Borderlands 3 in September. That's the biggest game I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think that's like the next one I like want to play.
Right. Like I'm curious about everything else. I mean, Doom Eternal. I'm not as huge a Doom fan as everybody is, but I've played Doom and I like Doom. So I'll play Doom Eternal, but I'm not gonna be like day one buy-in, Same with
you will. You don't know it yet, but you will.
I know I will. Like the Wolfenstein, was it Youngblood?
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. Outer Worlds, I could see myself maybe picking that up if I see a little bit more of it. But I'm most excited about stuff that's already been announced I'm ready to go. I do need to play through the DLC for Borderlands 2, which bridges the gap between 2 and 3, which is free for a limited time.
That's made me kind of want to go back and finish 100%ing that game on PS4.
Yeah, like all the DLC, man. Oh, it's brutal. That would be crazy. But
I have the platinum. I just don't have the 100%. But okay, so I'm gonna move on to Captain Canada. I know you are. I know you are the sole predominantly PC person here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you were 100% enamored by the PC show, and I'm actually in agreement with you because I've actually gone back and watched that thing twice.
The PC gaming show. I mean, I'll just say flat out, I thought E3 this year, for my personal taste, was absolutely stellar. Probably one of my favorite in years. I completely get why a lot of the media or general feedback was a down year because it was lacking outside of Watch Dogs 3 a lot of those huge AAA reveals that E3 is kind of all about. It didn't have a lot of bombshells. Like I was expecting Microsoft to have something, they didn't have a single one. Like I was expecting them to say, like them buying Double Fine is big. It's a surprise, but it's not like it's not like a mic drop moment. You know what I mean? And
I think it was more to save Double Fine because of their who was publishing their game, Starbreeze. Right. I think that company is not able to fund their projects, and they needed a publisher, and I think this is the agreement they came to.
Yeah, so like for me, E3 was like I'd give it like a 9.5 for what I liked personally. The PC gaming show. If you take PC gaming out of the name of it, a lot of the titles shown are multi-platform games. A lot of them are coming to console, and they showed a lot of gameplay, and that was something that was sorely missing from a lot of the other shows.
Yep.
I mean, there was a ton of games shown for PC and console that I was a huge. Like, I got a new John Romero game this E3. Like, I freaked out when I saw it.
Right?
And
that game looks cool.
I was pissed that, not pissed, but like I was annoyed that they put it in the Nintendo show. And if you watch the reaction videos, like people are at Nintendo headquarters, they show the Romero logo. No one has any idea who he is.
Yeah.
And so that's like one of the legends of the industry. And
he's one of the masters of Doom.
So I get a new John Romero game this E3. I get new gameplay for like sequels to games like Evil Genius 2 and a new Vampire trailer. And so for me personally, I thought it was a stellar year. My favorite show was the PC gaming show. I thought Microsoft's was good. I didn't mind EA's because I like their games. I have no problem admitting that. I like Battlefield. I like the Star Wars game. It was kind of weird that Anthem is basically dead, like really dead.
I don't know if it's really dead. I think they're still trying to figure it out. To be honest with you, I really think they want to turn that ship around.
It's on
hell yeah, they do
want
to turn it around.
Power to the building.
So AMD's show was really good on the CPU front, really kind of disappointing on the GPU front. Again, that's just something I was interested in. I thought there was some awesome VR stuff shown. Like one of the VR games, Pistol Whip. Yeah. That was like one of my favorite games. Like someone described it as, what was it here? Super Hot meets Beat Saber. And like it just looks awesome. So for me, just my personal taste, I thought E3 was absolutely incredible this year.
I've heard Giant Bomb talk about this game called Phantom Covert Ops. That is a VR game. I guess it's only Oculus.
One?
Yeah, but it's a stealth kayak game. And I looked at it, I'm like, that looks amazing, but like not in a way that oh, this is a new turn for the industry. Like this is actually a surprisingly silly thing that looks really fun to do.
Oh yeah, like the graphics are like sometimes they look like PS2, and then sometimes you're like, yeah, it's in VR, but it just looks a kayak stealth game. Like it's so cool.
There's always water. There's always a pipe you can go through.
I like the one where you're in the reeds and the boat's going by with the spotlight. Like it is like really interesting. There was a ton shown, man. John Wick Hex.
Awesome. I love the fact that Mike Bithell is the guy making a John Wick game.
Yeah, Bithell's awesome.
Word.
Like Telling Lies, I think looks really, really interesting. That's the new game from I forget his name. The guy who did Her Story. Starmancer looks incredible.
Starmancer does look good.
And then I got all the stupid stuff that I like the Shark Maneater.
Yeah.
And it was just a great E3 for me. I thought it was a lot of fun. I even thought Final Fantasy VII Remake looks really cool, and I'm not a Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah.
So I thought that looked good. Avengers is not on my list, but maybe it could be okay. But
it seems like a lot of people are turning around on their thoughts on Final Fantasy VII. For what people played at E3.
Negatively or positively?
Positively. I think a lot of people were like really skeptical that they're remaking this, historic game or whatever. And I think a lot of people are coming away from it positive. Like it looks great. It plays great, staying true to the characters or whatever. Like I think a lot of people are excited for it, which I did not feel before E3. And to be honest, like I don't really care about Final Fantasy VII, but seeing that demo actually made me quite intrigued because I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 15, and the combat seems similar enough, and like that world looks cool and everything. So I don't know.
I'm kind of in a similar boat. I don't like Final Fantasy in general, but for some reason, watching that 7 things, like maybe I should actually. I mean, it's like I guess an analog would be like trying to read a classic piece of fiction. Like maybe I should just engage with this just so I can actually know. But okay, so we've also. I mean, my general thoughts are sort of in line with all three of you. Do we want to talk highlights?
I mean, I have a top 10-ish list that I made this weekend from it. So I mean, like we can talk our favorites or disappointments or whatever.
Anybody else have any favorites?
I have a list right here ready to go.
Okay.
My list has been, I've shown you guys my list, and it's been different every time I read it.
Right. Moose, do you have favorites as well or no?
Of the show?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Do you have a list or are you just kind of... Okay.
No.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let Corey and Phillips go back and forth, and you and I will just chime in whenever. Cool?
That's fine.
Okay, I started with Corey for general thoughts. Phillips, I'm starting with you. Pick a game and talk about it. Let's try and be expeditious.
All right, Cyberpunk these are in no order. Cyberpunk. Fair. I love Witcher. I've never played Witcher 1. Well, I have, but I've never finished it, so I don't count it. Witcher 2 is amazing. Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. Cyberpunk is something that's always just fascinated me. I've never played the board game, but everything they've shown has just been amazing, and I love the developer. The Keanu Reeves thing was awesome, but it didn't make me more excited for the game. It just right? Like I was already excited. What made me excited was the hands-on feedback from a lot of the people at E3. PC Gamer basically described it as Deus Ex with an unlimited budget, and for me, that makes me excited. I think a lot of people who are going into it expecting like a shooter are going to be really disappointed in it in the same way that they're disappointed with the shooting in like a Fallout game. Like if they're trying to look at it as just like a run and gun shooter, they might not like it. But if they're willing to overlook that and realize that it's an RPG with shooting in it, it sounds like you'll have a good time. So I'm really excited about it, not based on what they showed, but based on what people have played. Okay.
Corey?
My number 10 was Doom Eternal. I think it looks fantastic. I actually went back and replayed the 2016 Doom.
I'm doing the exact same thing right now.
Yeah, I started it back up, and
I'm about halfway through.
it's still really good. And like, I didn't even think that, like, how do you build off of this? And they added a cool shoulder mounted turret thing and the grappling hook and some new cool weapons.
You could put yourself in the BFG and shoot yourself out of it.
Yeah. So
that was awesome, man. Like, it gave me the feels because like I don't know if I'm the only one here who played Doom when it first came out. And so we were all wondering how
original OG Doom
or OG Doom, yeah.
I did.
Okay, so when Doom came out, we were all playing it. We're like, this is unbelievable. Like, this is such a leap over Wolfenstein and Rogue Spear. Like, how do you get better? So then they make Doom 2, and the big thing was they have a double barrel shotgun now.
Yep.
Right? And like, it's something stupid, sounds stupid, but then when you play it, you're like, this is a game changer. Yeah. And Doom 2 is still to this day my favorite in the series, but I got the same kind of vibes from watching the Doom Eternal trailer.
Yeah. Like,
it's on my list as well.
Watching that. Like, I love 2016 Doom. I've thought about going back to play more of it. I just haven't.
Have you finished it?
No. But like, I did not know I was ready for another Doom trailer, for another Doom game, or for more Doom in general until I saw that. I'm just like, yep, I want more of this now. So yeah.
I agree.
Any thoughts thus far, Moose?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay.
My turn now?
Yes, it is. It is your turn.
My next game is a game that I have to imagine I'm the only person in the group and the audience who will be interested in. That's Planet Zoo.
That game looks awesome.
I saw you talking about this, and then I looked at it. I'm like, motherfucker, I want that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm with you.
I have to say, this hits all. I love the zoo. I'm a yearly member at the zoo. I go all the time. I love nature shows and animals, and I love strategy games. So when you put those together, like, it looks fucking awesome. This is by the same devs who did Planet Coaster. They did a huge hour-long gameplay thing from E3, and if you look at just like zoom in on an alligator, and you just look at the attention to detail, the animations, it's awesome. So yeah, you basically build your own zoo. There's no limits, and I imagine over time they'll introduce more animals as DLC and stuff. But it just looks awesome. It looks so polished and perfect, and it's actually, I don't know how much it is US, but it just went for pre-order. It's only 50 Canadian.
So it'll probably be 40
like
here.
$39.99, I would imagine. Yeah. So yeah. I think it looks awesome.
I mean, based on the conversion metrics you've given us in the past, that's basically like $3 for us, right?
Yeah. The Raptors won though, so the currency's gone up a little bit.
Corey, I actually went and download. I know it's not really the same game, but I went and downloaded Zoo Tycoon because it's on Game Pass for Xbox. Nice. And after you mentioned that in the chat, I was like, I'm going to try the Zoo Tycoon just to get myself in the right.
Zoo Tycoon was a good time.
Yeah,
it's not Roller Coaster Tycoon.
No, not by any stretch.
But what is?
I mean, to be fair, Roller Coaster Tycoon isn't Roller Coaster Tycoon that much these days either. So there are better roller coaster building sims out there, theme park sims. So Planet Coaster being probably the one.
That's the definitive one right now, I think.
Yeah. By the way, don't get Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures on Switch. It's bad.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible. I think you've just claimed this before and said no, and then you ended up getting it anyway.
Yeah, I did. I bit the bullet and got it for everybody's to tell them not to get it.
Why are you supporting bad behavior, Corey?
I'm performing a public service.
Yeah. Somebody's got to jump on that grenade.
Right.
Yeah, I did it. Guess what? It runs at a smooth 9 frames a second.
Damn.
When you're in playground mode. So
what's next on your list, Corey?
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, it's CD Projekt Red. I just put Cyberpunk and The Witcher on there.
Because Switcher?
Yeah, Switcher. Yeah. Because The Witcher is a game that I've been wanting to play for a long time, and I actually have it on Xbox, but I don't really have the time to sit and use my TV or my computer a whole lot. but I play my Switch a lot more than everything else, and so I think I'm going to bite that bullet too and get The Witcher on Switch. But also, Cyberpunk looks really cool.
Yeah.
So I just put CD Projekt Red as my number 9.
That's okay.
That's fair.
I don't know how I feel about The Witcher though, because they came out and said Saber Interactive is porting it, which has done decent ports, but has also done some pretty bad games themselves. So
the fact that it's on there at all is
the fact that it runs. Let's just be happy that it runs on the Switch.
We don't
know how it runs.
We don't know that yet.
The fact that it's coming out on Switch is
here's the thing. This is
didn't they talk about
just on the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is the game that will prove if everything should or shouldn't be on Switch. You know, Doom and Wolfenstein are already pushing that envelope pretty far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, The Witcher is like, we'll find out in September, I think. So,
it'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I speak for the other two here, Corey, when I say you can perform that public service too.
I'm going to, just for you guys, and I'll report back.
I know you will. Phillips.
My next one will be, it's kind of a cheat because it's a re-release, but I don't care because it's an awesome game, and that's Age of Empires 2.
Yes. Age of Empires 2 is awesome.
I am so unbelievably excited for this. Like, there was a time when Microsoft only made PC games. And
that's true.
Microsoft
and you had to log into what? The Zone? Game Zone or whatever?
Like you can get them on Steam and stuff, but like they ever since Xbox came out, they've had a series of terrible PC initiatives like Games for Windows Live, blah blah. But it doesn't matter. So we went through all of that, and now we're here in 2019 where they're remaking all the Age of Empires games.
And they're bringing back Flight Simulator.
Dude, Flight Simulator was a cool release. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
No, I don't.
It's fine. It'll be on Game Pass.
Happy that it exists. Well, I'm not going to play it, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm so happy it exists. I am. I honestly am. Like, the same way that I'm happy Commander Keen has a new game in 2019, even if it's a mobile game that I'll never play.
Right.
One day I'll log into Xbox Live and I'll just see the little PC set up next to Philip's name, and it'll be say Flight Simulator.
Like I had back in the 90s.
Possible.
Back in the 90s, I had like a bunch of flight sim games that I loved just diving into. I'm pretty sure like I had Falcon 3.
Oh, so you had the phone book,
and the binders full of
the tome,
how to make a plane work.
That's the left rudder, and it was insane.
Because and I would try it. I'm like, wow, you can't just start and go, huh?
Like, do you remember when Tom Clancy games were actual sim games and they had Longbow and Apache? They used to actually make Tom Clancy style games.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that brings us back to Corey.
Oh, does it already? Man.
Yes.
It's going fast. Link's Awakening is my number 8.
Zelda game I've never played. I would like to play it.
It was my first Zelda game, and I am quite excited to play it. So I don't really have much else to say except the art style is really cool and the amiibo looks cool and that dungeon maker seems really interesting. So, but yeah, I'm excited to play it. See what they added. So.
I've mentioned a lot of the games on my list, so I don't know if I should just talk about them again or add another game, which I can also do.
What's on your list?
That I've already talked about?
What's the next thing on your list? Just pick the next thing.
Starmancer.
Okay. We've talked about it.
We've talked about it. So I'll add another one. Yes, I'll add a different one. Chivalry 2. Because I think it looks so much fun.
Yeah,
being done by Tripwire. I love
like
Tripwire.
That they're doing that again. I do like that they're doing that again.
Yeah, I think it looks great. Tripwire, who did one of my favorite games of the last 5 years, which I've put about 300 hours into, Rising
Storm, right? Yeah,
I still play it, and I love it to death. So I'm really excited for that. That looks like it's going to be a shitload of fun. And so, yeah, I'm super excited that they were making Chivalry 2. Because Mordhau right now is getting all the that game's exploding, man. Like they sold 1 million copies like nothing. So it proves that there's a market for these kinds of games right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for that.
Corey?
Gears 5. I thought it was going to be a lot higher on my list, to be honest with you, but after that, it was a really disappointing showing for me, at least.
I would agree.
I mean, I'm still excited. I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to play the crap out of it, but it was just a really disappointing showing for me. But I'm a big Gears fan, and I'm glad that we're getting another one. I'm a little bit surprised that it's coming out this gen, to be honest with you, that they're not holding it for like to have like a Forza Halo Gears boom 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 Scarlet launch. But
before the Microsoft show started, because I liked Gears 1 and 2, wasn't really crazy about 3 or Judgment, and I haven't played 4 yet. So I was expecting the reveal of Gears 5 to be their like mic drop moment, I guess. Mm-hmm. And even hardcore Gears fans kind of came away like, like I know I'm gonna play it because it's Gears, but what they showed didn't really do much for me. And so yeah, I thought it was a weird way to show it off. Like that's their huge game this year.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to show some at Gamescom, because they've been talking right now about Sega as a Gamescom. So maybe we'll see more, but I didn't think it was a good showing for the E3 stage, I'll say.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah. But I mean, the poor showing, I think Escape is a cool new mode, and I think the fact that you can build your own escape missions and share them online, I think that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, it is.
And I think
it's really cool, but
yeah, and I think adding the hero system to it, I think is something that we actually talked about a long time ago about them adding it for Gears 4, and like how cool it would be to have like, okay, Marcus is clearly the soldier, Kate's clearly the sniper, like these type of specialist characters, and to see them kind of adding it to more modes. I don't know if they're going to add it to the campaign, probably not, but to see them add that in Gears 5 seems really cool. So
what number was that on your list, Corey?
That was number 7.
Phillips.
All right. Again, I talked about a lot of these, so I'll add another one. Dying Light 2, which is the new Chris Avellone game. One of my favorite guys in the industry. I think it looks really cool even without his involvement. But when you tell me that he's writing it, I'm willing to buy it, and no questions asked. So I'm super excited for that. I think it looks really cool. I love the way that they supported Dying Light 1 for years with DLC, and they've promised to support Dying Light 2 with the same kind of support stretched out over a couple of years. So even going cross-gen with it. So I think it looks exceptional. I'm really excited for it, and just having Avellone on there, I think it's going to be an awesome game. So Dying Light 2.
Yeah. Watching him talk on Giant Bomb's panel was really cool. He was actually like super skeptical going into that when it's Techland, right?
Yeah.
He basically told him like they want the world to change, and so he's like, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we want choices. Like if someone makes this choice, they might miss an entire chunk of the game. And eventually he's like, oh, so you guys are really committed to this. And that's what sort of like motivated him. So
yeah, he's always very articulate when he speaks about his projects. You can tell he's clearly very passionate and very intelligent. And another thing, I like that he speaks his mind. Like he's not afraid to throw all his old bosses under the bus.
Oh man.
But I respect that because he's not on Reddit like doing it as anonymous user. Like he just goes right out and does it.
Yeah,
right?
like
And,
I think at one point Gerstmann said, "So what do you think about Outer Worlds?" Just to see what he would do.
Well, he's always said like he thinks that they have a lot of very talented people working there, but he hates the management. And I mean, he helped start that studio, and then he left, obviously for a reason. I mean, we're just I'd love to be a fly on the wall, but it's kind of he said, right? But anyways, we're getting off track.
I like that. Yeah, I Dying Light 2 is more on my radar than the first one ever was.
Yep.
I've thought about going back to play the first one. I don't know if I will, but hey,
shit happens.
Exactly. I've ended up in weirder video game holes than going back to Dying Light 1. So, Corey, you're number 6.
My number 6 is, where's my list? Ghost Recon Breakpoint is my number 6.
Only thing I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Only thing I liked was the fact that the dog was on stage at Ubisoft. Shout outs to Bam Bam the dog. Go ahead.
Yep.
You can talk. Go ahead. Talk about Breakpoint.
I was waiting.
Talk about Breakpoint.
I think it looks cool. I think I like the more single player focused aspect of the game than Wildlands was more multiplayer focused, and I miss the old Ghost Recon where it was kind of single player focused. Like squad based style stuff, but I think this one looks really cool, and I don't really know much more about it. I just thought that all the trailers they showed this weekend made it look cool, and I like the guy that plays the Punisher and Walking Dead guy and whatever else military movie
John
he's in.
Bernthal.
Yeah, that guy. And he has a cool dog. So
Bam Bam the dog, man.
The dog sold the game for me. Let's be real. I hope he's in the game, and I hope that you can.
There was a meme I saw somewhere that said like the 4 horsemen of E3 were Ikumi Nakamura, Bam Bam the dog, Keanu Reeves, and Banjo-Kazooie.
Wow, Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, because I love the fact that in that Nintendo Direct, like they showed them as a shadow, but then it was Duck Hunt Dog and one of the dogs.
I like that as well.
And then they come in and basically beat the crap out of them, and it's Banjo-Kazooie. I'm like,
this is a good reveal.
It's good. That's some good rare action right there.
As a big Banjo-Kazooie fan, that was pretty exciting. I thought it was funny that they pretty much used the same exact reveal as the King K. Rool one.
Yeah. Are you? And it's actually.
Yeah.
Okay. I for some reason
the funny thing is in the reveal trailer though, like everybody seemed to have missed it except for me apparently. But when they're sleeping on the floor in the King K. Rool one, like it was like a balloon or like a banana or something that rolled across the floor. It was a jiggy. It was a puzzle piece that just rolled across the floor, and I was like, "This is a Banjo reveal." And
I'm like, wait a minute. I like did a take, but like I was for some reason
it went by so fast. It went by so fast, and there's a bunch of other things going on the screen that you could have missed it, like if you weren't paying attention. Mm-hmm. But
I'd really like those games to come to Switch, like that. If you were to say like, "Hey, Banjo's coming to Switch,"
well, apparently Microsoft is gearing up for some Switch releases, and one of the rumors is Rare Replay Plus. And they're going to include some Nintendo Rare games on there too. So it's clearly a rumor right now, but.
So I'm going to interrupt things. I want to talk to Moose a little bit, just because no one has really brought up this publisher. Let's talk about Devolver, Moose. You and I.
Sure. Let's have a conversation.
Can we talk about?
Good night, guys.
Can we talk about how this is like the best produced thing at E3?
Yes, we can.
like there were RoboCop references.
I love how they were making fun of directs. They were making fun of E3 in general. Yeah. They showed a really kick-ass horror game that's been on my radar for like.
You're talking about Carry On, right?
Carry On. I don't know.
Carry On looks fucking fucking awesome.
I don't know who did the article about it, like when it first hit Steam. Might have been early access or something.
Yeah, I think
like,
it's still early access at this point.
Huh?
I think it's still early access.
Yeah. It's not done. So I was like, oh, this game looks awesome. You can actually be the alien and the monster, quote unquote monster. And I was like, oh,
what you said last week on Platinum was like I actually was like on the bus when I listened to it, and you said you're basically the alien in John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking yes, somebody else saw this.
And so, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, of course Devolver would pick that up.
Yeah,
they're fucking awesome. So I'm excited about that. I wish I had the money to buy their Enter the Gungeon light gun. That's it's a little steep.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, you know what? I'm happy that exists.
So am I. So it's.
I love the Devolver bootleg.
Devolver bootleg. I want the Devolver bootleg. I hope it comes to consoles, but
is it only on Steam right now?
I think it's only on Steam.
As far as I know, yes, it's only on Steam.
Yeah, it's $5 because I was looking at it in there.
If it comes to console, I'll pick it up in a heartbeat because
it's only $5. It's got trophies.
Enter the dungeon. Cat Sylvania.
Like the description of it here is a Devolver bootleg contains 8 original ripoffs of Devolver digital games. Pay money for it now. And it's just so I love it, man. Like I love that Devolver exists. They're just awesome, man. They put out games I really like. Oh, sorry, I'm hijacking Moose.
No. I was just gonna say Hotline Milwaukee.
Yeah, Hotline Milwaukee.
Oh, like yeah, that'll be awesome. And like you watch the trailer for the games, and you're like, I actually want to play that.
Yeah, I'm just like
I really want to play those.
What am I doing with my life that I don't have this?
Yeah. It looked.
They look wicked, man.
They had a funny conference. It was really good.
Yeah. My friend Pedro looks awesome.
Yes. Can't wait.
That's a game that I've been like sharing with you guys since it was just like animated like screenshots basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and that game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So
that makes me want to go back and play Hong Kong Massacre more, but like I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, that comes this week, doesn't it?
My friend Pedro, 20th, I think.
Yeah, 20th. So that's this week. There's a lot of stuff coming out this week. Shout out to Bloodstain finally hitting. Shout out to Crash Team Racing coming out. Excited about that. But anyways, bunch of stuff up this week.
Like I really liked the Fall Guys. That cartoony battle royale thing that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like this is the battle royale party game that the world needs.
Yeah.
Like they just need a bunch of dumb things.
Like here's just 4 people. There's 4 people playing, having fun. Like gang beasts or whatever.
Yeah.
Just have a good time. Like don't like it's kind of hard to make a game where it's just it's easy to pick up, but it's hard to master.
Right.
Like I feel like that was like Helldivers was that for us. Like it was like easy to pick up, but like hard to master. And so I think if they could do that, where like you could still have fun in learning with this game, and it's a party game, it's going to be a lot of fun. Because you got to like tailor to the people that are just going to like pick it up, you know, and be like, oh, well, I got 4 friends over because, you know, it's me, my girlfriend, and 2 friends are coming over for dinner, so we can play real quick and have a good time, you know, but they're not like gamers like we are or whatever, or I am. And, hey, let's have a game. Hey, A does this, B does this, you know what I mean? Like you have jump, you got attack, and you have a special move, and that's it. And then like you just work through trying to master it. Like that would be cool.
And I just want to say that since you and I started talking about Devolver, it only took like 3 minutes for them to just bounce.
Yeah, I know.
Cord got up, Phillips left. Let's talk about Conan Chop Chop. Can we?
Yes, dude. I
looked so good.
I didn't even know it was a April Fool's joke. Like I saw the video for Conan Chop Chop, and I'm like, this is amazing. This might be my This might be my quote unquote Castle Crashers 2.
Yeah.
Like if Behemoth isn't gonna do it, it looks like they're gonna do it.
I showed it to Reba. She's like, "I'll play that." I'm like, "Good," because it looks like the overworld stuff in Adventure Pals, and that is so my jam.
It just looks really cool, like a dungeon crawler that's got like obviously Conan in it.
Well, we make a mention to a
Conan Chop Chop.
We make a mention of a Schwarzenegger movie, and it brings them back.
Yeah, I know. They're all back now.
I love that you reveal your game by saying it wasn't just an April Fool's joke. Like, that's fucking awesome.
That was good.
That game looks wicked.
That's September 3rd. It'll be out on PS4, so that'll be nice. So
that game looks awesome.
Probably be playing that day one. You and I were talking about it, Matt, and just it's kind of on the subject of E3, where like we were talking about the remainder of the year, and it's just like I'm all about indies now.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the year, I've got a bunch of indies on like Blasphemous. They showed a reveal trailer. Like they had the Kickstarter trailer and stuff like that, and now they actually showed a trailer where there's like really good gameplay footage, and it looks faster than what I thought it was going to be. So I'm kind of excited about that. So Blasphemous looks really good. Maybe we'll get a 2019 release. If they don't, that's fine. Yeah. Just polish your game. Take your time. Don't push it. What else? What else was there? So there was that came out. I'm still waiting on Heart's Fourth Alicia, which is supposed to be coming soon. Children of Morta was the other one. They are coming out with a summer release, which is nice. So that'll be hopefully by the before the end of August. So that's good. That game looks really good, like a roguelike where you build upon the story of your family, which is pretty awesome. Like it's kind of different for a roguelike.
It's like a Rogue Legacy, but like
an actual like legit story.
But
that wasn't.
But like I mean, it's rather than just saying, "Hey, you're just Descendant," and using that as a mode for like the repeat gameplay.
Like you have like a tie to your siblings, your aunts and uncles, like your parents. Well, I don't know.
It kind of does. I mean, from the little I know about Crusader Kings, it kind of does that. And just as an aside, I got the Crusader Kings board game this weekend.
I saw that.
I read that manual. That there is a lot in that game, and it makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Ties into like what we were talking about before the show, where we're like, the PC for you guys is all about the indies, and like that is the kind of game that like you love.
Love. Like I watch people stream it. I'm like, man, I need to just stop and basically put forth the effort to get it. Okay, so I think we lasted Corey's number 6. So Phillips, I believe it is you now.
All right, then I will do Empire of Sin. Let's talk about Empire of Sin, because I think that looks awesome. That is the new game from John Romero and Paradox, I think.
Gangster X.
So
it's really cool.
It's coming to everything. It's PS4 and Xbox, PC. It's set in the 20s. All the characters in it so the world will change. Not the world, but like the people in the world will change based on how you act and stuff. And that's exactly what it is. It's Mafia XCOM set in the 20s, made by John Romero. So
I want a really deep I want like a deeper XCOM game on Switch rather than Kingdom Battle. Having said that, I did notice that Phantom Doctrine is on Switch, so I'll be doing that.
It just looks so good. I was so happy to see it revealed, and I just think it looks
like just seeing John Romero's name, like it's just like
because John Romero's in the news because he just put out a new Doom episode.
Yeah, it was a megawatt, right?
Yeah, so it's a whole new campaign. It's brutally difficult,
but it's only OG Doom, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because that community is still huge.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, like it is. It's huge.
I mean, there's that, and then there's like Quake, like because
I still play Quake.
It's still a thing. Like
I still play Quake. I love Quake.
I just want to say I found it funny that they kind of like hijacked QuakeCon and called it like
DoomCon. Yeah.
I'm like, it took you this long to do it because nobody fucking plays Quake anymore.
That's not true at all. That's categorically.
That's not true.
It's not as popular as Doom.
They don't play it on console.
Well, yes,
because Quake Champions is not colossal, but a lot of people still play the previous Quake games.
Yeah, people still play Quake 2.
NVIDIA just put out a new update for Quake 2, the RTX.
Is it as popular as the new Doom is?
Not this year, it won't be.
No,
so
I'm saying in general. So what I'm saying is like in my looking at the video game industry, granted I'm not in the PC space.
Sure.
As a gamer, to me, Quake is way less relevant than Doom is.
Right.
It's probably
and that's fair. That's fair.
But QuakeCon started basically because people would bring their PCs and have huge LAN parties and play Quake.
Right.
And that's what Quake is. Like that Quake is the ultimate fragging game. And so that's kind of how it grew, right? So I don't think it's like I don't have an issue with them doing it. I mean, I've said on the show before, like if I were to go to a convention, it would either be QuakeCon or BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Like my dream convention. But I don't have a problem with them doing that. And like Doom's fucking awesome too.
Yeah. I think I'm sort of with Moose. Like we don't do like a single niche show. We just sort of have to look at the whole thing. And like right now, Doom is definitely at a peak.
Oh, sure.
But see, here's the thing. Like, let's say Doom Eternal comes out and it's amazing, but then like we don't hear about it for like another 4 or 5 years. You know, that becomes a valley. But see, Quake is still here, and Doom will eventually drop below that.
I mean, it could, but it could not. I mean, here's the thing: like, if Quake came back up, that would be nice. Maybe next gen is something where it'd be powerful enough to actually run it respectively. You know, like we run it fast enough because Quake, Quake Champions look cool, but then I was like, oh, it's PC only, so it's automatically, out of
it's automatically just sort of gone. Like,
it's already like in my rearview mirror because I'm not even looking at that. You know, so I'm not trying to say like people aren't playing it. I'm just saying like in the world of relevancy, like to the average gamer, Doom is way more relevant than Quake is. And it's just interesting.
I don't disagree with that. I think sometimes when you, like, so say, like you were saying, it goes right in your rearview mirror. I think, like, you use anecdotal evidence to kind of decide what is relevant, what isn't. I do it too. We all do. That's just human nature, right? So, in the circles that you would frequent, nobody would, other than me, is probably talking about Quake.
Yeah.
Right? So,
exactly.
And so, because it's stuck on one platform. And it just is, right? So it's smaller by nature, but it still has a rabid fan base, which
is good.
Yeah,
maybe that rabid.
I just had a weird '90s flashback to when I played Quake. I miss Quake.
It's really good.
It really was.
It's really damn good, man. I still remember where I was when I got the shareware. Before we go too long. And I think both of you were correct, personally. I think, is it Phillips's turn or Corey's turn? I forgot. I think I did Empire of Sin.
You did.
And that got us down to Quake.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next few games, I don't know if anybody really has anything to say about them. My top 5, actually. I think I'm pretty much the only one on board with most of these.
Do you want to just rapid fire them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So my number 5 is Final Fantasy VIII. Remastered. My first Final Fantasy game, the one I like Final Fantasy VIII, but I know a lot of people are kind of one way or another on that game.
Based on what I know about Final Fantasy, like I've actually always I've always gravitated toward the stuff I've heard about 8 more than I've heard about 7.
Yeah. That and then Gods and Monsters, which nobody is really talking about this game. The last
actually
game
looks cool. I'm excited about that. So
Ubisoft's conference they showed off. It was their last game, so kind of looks like a mix of Breath of the Wild filtered through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is sounds like a game for me. So
that's a good mix.
I just think we need more.
Yeah.
I think because that what they showed, because I know you mentioned it last week. I still have no sense of what that game is.
No, I know, and I know they're going to show more at Gamescom of that game. that game, but I mean that from what I've heard, that game looks awesome. Halo Infinite, I'm really excited for. Anytime a new Halo game is shown, plus it was given off some really strong Halo 2 vibes, Halo 1 and 2 vibes. So, plus all the rumors going around where it's kind of going to be a openish style Halo game, similar to ODST, where you're stuck on a Halo ring and like the whole ring is for you to explore. So that sounds like a really cool idea. I wonder how they're going to. What?
I'm excited to play that.
Yeah. So I wonder how they're going to handle the Spartan customization and stuff on that, though. So speaking of customization, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. Anytime there's a new Destiny expansion, it's probably what I'm going to be talking about for a month straight, at least when it comes out. So it actually sucked me back in pretty hard after that demo. So, and then the new Zelda sequel is my number one because Breath of the Wild was awesome, and for them to be making what seems like a direct sequel to that game, and the conversation surrounding everything in the trailer is really exciting for me. So,
I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Like, anytime a sequel is announced to one of those, sure, I'm in. Yeah. Phillips, you want to rapid fire some more real quick?
How many do I have? All right,
as many as you
5.
like.
All of them.
Evil Genius 2. I can't wait to play. That is basically you're the bad guy from a James Bond game, and you can make your bases and your layers. Your genius layer. This is a sequel that a lot of us who played that game are super excited about. Gives me hope that maybe sometime we could see a sequel to No One Lives Forever. I don't know how many people remember that series.
I know that series.
Yeah, that series was good.
that series was fucking awesome. Vampire the Masquerade 2, another game I can't believe we're getting a sequel to.
I'm really happy that Kara Ellison is writing that. I liked her in Bed with Games. That was really cool, where she like sort of lived with developers and like went through the process of making games.
I'm super excited for it, man.
I'm really excited to see what she does with that. Also, she wrote a lot of the dialogue in Void Bastards, which came out recently.
Yep.
In fact, there are enemies that basically curse at the player in Scottish, and she voiced them. So Void Bastards needs to come to PS4 so I can listen to Kara Ellison.
Is it on Switch?
No.
Is it only on PC?
PC and Xbox, I believe.
Oh, okay. I think Griftlands looks really cool.
That game looked really cool.
Yeah, Griftlands looked awesome. There was what else was there? Conan Chop Chop I thought looked great. Mosaic. They showed that on the PC Gaming Show. I thought that looked really good as well. I mean, for anyone who's listening, if you haven't watched the PC Gaming Show, I think it's worth. And you like indies, and
this year more than last.
This year more than any year.
Yeah,
to be honest,
this is a show that like IGN should be covering, or like GameSpot should be covering. People.
I saw a lot of people like. I agree with you. Like a lot of people were listing the conferences, and they didn't even put it on there.
Yeah,
like it just sucks. It's like, well, I mean, it's kind of you're supposed to cover E3, anyways. If you like video game, a lot of it was multi-platform. So if you're a console owner, there was a lot of stuff shown there that you're going to be able to play. Same way if you watch the Microsoft show and you own a PS4, there's going to be a lot of stuff for you to play there. So they showed a lot of stuff. And a lot of the games I've talked about today are all from that show. They had Telling Lies and Outer Worlds looks awesome. That Pistol Whip VR game, like I thought, I was hoping to see more VR stuff. The Insomniac one. I can't remember what it's called right now, but
I think that'll be probably a Sony thing because it'll be on PSVR too.
They've they haven't announced anything other than Oculus right now, so I don't know what they're doing with it because they have that one, and then who are the ones who did the Order 1886?
Ready at Dawn.
Ready at Dawn have their new VR game as well. And that looks awesome as well. So there was a lot of VR stuff. Again, I just, for my personal taste, I thought it was a really cool E3. Like really, really good. And I think Watch Dogs looks really good. and I'm not a big fan of that series. I think Watch Dogs 3 looks amazing.
Didn't give a shit about the first two, but you say 2 words, Clint Hawking, and I'm in. Far Cry 2
it blew me away. Like that reveal is awesome. I thought that reveal was awesome.
Lady killing people.
Yeah, like I want to wreck some shop with Helen, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The things I want to mention just real quickly, just because they weren't mentioned. I'm really excited for Arcane's Deathloop.
Yes,
that looks wicked.
That game looks cool. I mean, Ikumi Nakamura's earnestness sold me on Ghostwire Tokyo, but then post press has basically said Hitman and Dark Souls kind of merged. If that doesn't sell your boy here, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I know that.
Sounds like a badass game.
It's a badass game.
The only reason it wasn't on my list is because it's just a trailer.
Yeah,
I didn't know what the game looks like.
Totally.
But otherwise, going by that, Baldur's Gate 3, which is the game I would.
Step
my own mother for.
Yeah,
that would be on my list, but they just talked about it.
Knowing that Baldur's Gate 2 is coming to PS4, is it?
1 and 2 are
1 and 2.
And knowing that 3 is being developed by the right goddamn people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am in. I don't even see gameplay at this point. I'm just in.
Oh no, yeah. They were like Baldur's Gate 3, who's making it? Larian? Yes, I'll pre-order right
great.
now.
Yep. And as much as the hype around, or the hype seemed around Respawn's Star Wars game, the one thing that has me reserved about it, and I say this as more of a circumstantial thing than anything else, is the fact that I played and platinum Sekiro this year, because them was some Sekiro ass mechanics, and it just basically said why didn't From Software do this? However,
that's one thing we didn't talk about.
However, it is Respawn. They make good games, so I will at least watch it. I don't know if I'm in yet, but I will keep an eye on that space.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. And then I know on Platinum, Moose was really excited for Elden Ring. I think the one thing that has me reserved is that trailer didn't tell me anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's just all the only thing we still know from the leak is that From Software and George R.R. Martin are making a game.
It could be Moose's fucking nightmare, and it's a horror XCOM game.
If it is, I won't play it.
Which I'm totally here for.
I would be too. If there was a Bloodborne XCOM game, I think Keel would pass it.
No, actually, I would play it. I think it meant horror. If it was a horror type game.
No, but
if it's XCOM, I'll play it.
Okay, so we did our E3. We did our E3 talk. We're gonna blow through some questions, guys.
Quick and fast.
So Deshaun Malone, man, the myth, the legend, says, "Wow, my white brethren, 150. How did you guys do it? Congrats on the milestone, and here's to at least that many more. What were some of your favorite games shown at E3? Did you think it was an up year or down year? No disrespect, Deshaun. We kind of just went through that. Mm-hmm. I think all of us kind of feel like it's a down year. Not necessarily
except for Phillips. Phillips was excited.
Well, yeah, Phillips was excited, but I think even his PC centric self could say, yeah, not having Sony there really sort of changes it. I think
it changes it a bit, but that's why I tried to separate it. For my personal taste, it was not a down year. It was unbelievable. I think from general perception, I understand why they thought it was a down year, because there's only one reveal like Watch Dogs, but I still thought it was a good year.
Sure.
Overall.
Yeah. And for playing off that, for my personal taste, Sony not being there is irrelevant. Everything their first party is putting out until PS5, I am not interested in. So, I'm
already sold on Death Stranding. I've already got it pre-ordered. I'm already in on everything they've shown. Actually, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2.
As I said a couple episodes ago, Death Stranding found a way to pull me in.
Oh, dude, it looks.
I've
been playing games since the '80s. Yes, I'm old, and one of the things I
so
love
have
about
I.
Death
You're
Stranding,
not
I
some
think.
club.
I mean, we all
I love
have.
about Death Stranding is that when you look at it and you have to start questioning, what is this? Okay, what is that? Like, I like that because I've seen so many fucking games over the decades that when someone like Kojima exists that can come up with something like that, I am interested because it's different. Whether I like it or not, it's irrelevant. Like I'm excited that it exists. I'm excited it's coming out and that it's so different that we have to ask, what is this? Doesn't mean
Same
it's
here.
gonna be at all. Like I could hate it, but I did the same thing with like a game like Two Human, which turned out horrible. But I loved that someone was willing to take a chance on
to get outside the box.
Yeah.
And then Moose, you think it's kind of a down year or no?
I think it's just like just a plateau year. I don't think it's down. I don't think it's up. I think it's a decent year.
Yeah.
Like there's some games that I want to play that I'm looking at, but like Matt said, the only thing new that I've seen, well, I mean, the Elden Ring and then Watch Dogs, like that's it. Pretty much a lot of the stuff we've already known about, so it's nothing like completely and utterly shocking. Yeah. So, that's what I like out of E3. Like I think E3 is mainly supposed to be like new games,
shit you don't know about.
Yeah, shit stuff I don't know about. Like I was kind of disappointed in the Nintendo Direct, but then like I want to play a lot of the stuff that they showed. But it's like I already know about this. And then in my personal opinion, they try to do a mic drop with Breath of the Wild sequel, but it's like, well, no shit, you're working on a new Zelda game. It's nice that it's a direct sequel, but that's not shocking, And then it's just that's fine that it's just a trailer, but it's like, okay.
Like you could say that about a lot of games, though.
That's
especially
true.
This year.
That's true, but I mean, it's like a game that, and I Sony does it all the time too. Everybody does it, but it's like stop showing stuff that's like way the hell out. I mean, I understand how indies have to do it. Like I was reading an article about how Bloodstain has like everybody's like we've been waiting like forever for this game. It's like they just announced it in 2015.
Like they announced it before they started it. I mean,
they started making the game. Give them some goddamn time to make the fucking game, you assholes. Like you finally get the game this week, so shut the hell up. Like let them make the game. Like they have to go through the process of like getting it out there and saying, "Hey, we want to make this game," and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome, make the game." And then they're like, people take on the like AAA mentality where like, no, like it should be made in like 2 seconds. It's like, no, they're an indie studio. Like give them some damn time. But anyways, so there's just some stuff that's like been shown. It's like, okay, I'll play it. Like Damien X Machina on Switch. That.
Coolest announcement was that the Hori attachment thing to Switch is going to make your Switch like 2 feet long.
I'm buying that thing because that controller is going to be awesome. I'm sorry, but that's the Switch Joy-Cons is the number one reason I do not play my Switch portable.
Handheld? Yeah,
handheld. If I have anything that has to do with that right analog stick, I drop it in the dock and I play that game at home.
It's always the complaint. I don't think you should have to buy an extra $100 controller just to have a comfortable controller with your console.
So
the right one.
It is horrible. It is horrible, but it is what it is. But anyways, I play a lot of my stuff on the dock at home. But so they got some Astral Chains from what was it? Platinum. Square. Does Square make it?
Nope, Nintendo's publishing
it.
I thought Square was publishing that. Okay, my bad.
I mean, it looks like a JRPG ass game.
Yeah, that looks good too. I thought what they showed, like more of the gameplay that they showed, was really good. So I've got more excitement for games I already know about, but there was like, so that's why I'm like, it's a good year. It's like it's not like it's a great year because I didn't really see a lot of stuff that's like brand new that I was like completely and utterly wowed by, So, anyway.
Yes, so let's move on to Sam Hall. Where do you think Stadia and Project xCloud fit into the future of gaming? I think the predominant answer is let's see if they work first.
Yeah, you got to worry about the internet first.
Mhm.
Your internet before you even think about streaming games.
Well, I think the nice thing that Xbox is doing that is that your Xbox works as your own personal server to their cloud stuff. So like whatever you have downloaded on your Xbox, you can just play through the xCloud stuff, which is what I was hoping they would do, and they're doing it. So that's
basically like a more advanced version of PS4's remote play.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cloud version of it.
Well, let's just hope it works better than PS4's remote play because it's not great.
No, it's not. It works, but it's not great.
Yeah.
I think the hands-on feedback from Stadia was disappointing from E3. I think the fact that they're running it on a wired network and it was still struggling to play at 1080p was a little disappointing, but it's not out yet, so you can only review what's they're currently showing. It could be awesome when it comes out. It could work perfectly. I think that this does have a place in the future of our industry, obviously. There were people who said that nobody would want to stream their TV shows, and now we're here.
Guess what?
I think it does have a place. It doesn't have a place for me because I like the experience you get with a piece of dedicated hardware, whether it be a handheld or a console or a PC. I'm not a customer, but I love the technology. I love the technology, and I hope it does really well because I think gaming should be more accessible for people. And I don't know how many hardcore gamers are drooling over something like Stadia, but I think there's a lot of people who don't really want a console and see, I can buy this controller, plug it into my TV and play games. And I think that's a very appealing prospect, especially if you add things like crossplay. You buy Stadia, I can play. I mean, it doesn't have crossplay right now, but I can play Destiny 2 with my buddy on PS4.
Right.
And I think that kind of stuff is very appealing for, I don't want to say casual, but the kind of people who don't want to purchase or invest in a console.
I mean, I as I have said to you guys offline, and I said last week, like I punted the Founders Edition. I am a founder now. Now, does that mean I'm going to sit here and evangelize the platform? No. I think I am going to be a little choosy as in terms of like what I get involved with early on. I'm not going to say like, hey, this arrived, I'm hooking it up and jumping into the division because that's what they promised. No, I'm not. That I'd be more likely to play smaller stuff on my Stadia. Depending on how that runs, maybe I'll try moving to slightly bigger games. But I do not plan for that to be my primary platform in any capacity. And like the technology fascinates me. So if it comes out, I get it. If it doesn't work, I'm out $129.
And then $10
Huh?
And then $10 a month.
Well, that's only it's free for 3 months.
3 months,
so. But at that point, I will know. So I'm willing to at least try and see what it is. Now, I don't have access to Xbox. I don't have an Xbox, and the entry point on either side, well, $130 versus however much an Xbox is at this point.
Well, you don't need an Xbox to use xCloud. That's the thing.
Microsoft did a very poor job. Very poor job.
And they didn't tell me that, and I don't know how to do it any other way. So
I think they did a terrible job explaining Scarlet.
They did.
Lockhart apparently doesn't exist anymore, and xCloud also. I thought they did a terrible job explaining those. That was the concern going in for them, was how are you going to explain all these things in layman's terms so that people come away with it knowing exactly what they are. And I don't think they know how to do that either. And it is hard to do. I'm not saying I could write a better script, but it's difficult to explain those things in an E3 format. And this is the evidence of that, right?
I think what they're going to do though is like next year they're not going to do E3 with their console. They're going to have like a announcement event like XO 20 or whatever before E3 to talk about the box and the streaming stuff and everything, and then the E3 next year for them will be all about the Scarlet games. In my opinion, I think they just want to get some information out there to like say, hey, this is what our plans are. Which, Phil Spencer said that in the Giant Bomb interview where he's like, we don't even have a name for it yet.
It's like a poker. It's like a poker thing where they're just sort of calling.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff about it. I'm not saying they're lying. They've said this, so they said it supports hardware ray tracing. They had this huge thing, and then AMD came out and showed off Navi, which it's based on, and it doesn't support hardware ray tracing. So a lot of people are like, there's a disconnect here, right? So they may be adding that on their own, but they used a lot of hyperbole as they always do, to promote their.
PlayStation did that too, though, right? In that Wired interview,
not like Microsoft did. Microsoft.
Oh no, man! I was around when PlayStation launched the Vita and talked about how you could play your games on the go.
Yes, and they did get sued for it, but Microsoft. PlayStation never convinced people that teraflops were like the ultimate measure of power, and that they told everyone that.
No, but they did. They said
never coming back from 8K 120. They're never coming back from that. 8K 120.
Yeah, but PlayStation said the same thing in that Wired interview.
Impossible on a 2080 Ti. They will never walk that back. And there's a difference between doing a Wired interview and going on E3 stage and telling everybody.
I mean, that's true, but they still said it.
They did it in a Wired interview. It's very different. It will support 8K on the menus and like 120 on Minecraft.
I mean, I think it's different in the fact that an E3 conference has more I don't want to say it. Well, diverse. Diverse is probably a word you could use, but it's just like diverse in their interest level, paying attention. Whereas Wired, like that's a targeted demographic.
I think the first thing when you hear that they didn't interview in Wired is, I didn't know Wired still existed.
I mean,
that's the first thing I thought, and I followed the industry.
Right.
But it's different. Like Cerny likes to do those interviews. He did the same thing with PS4 Pro, and he was talking about what was it called? Half floats. He was like, yeah, it's 8.4 teraflops at half floats, and everyone kind of jumped on for that. Mm-hmm. It's hard to talk about specs, I think.
Because to lay people, it becomes a numbers thing where this has bigger numbers, so it's better.
It's absolutely true.
Whether or not it actually achieves is a different thing.
You know what? As long as it turns on and plays the games that I like to play, I really don't care.
Word.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
I played most of my games on Switch. I played through Doom and Wolfenstein on Switch. Guess what? They ran and they worked and they played fine.
Yep.
Not the optimal way to play those games. I'm 100% aware, but that's where I played them. So,
I mean, yeah, getting back to the Witcher thing, like everyone's sort of saying, "Well, this is how the Witcher's going to run on Switch." Like, fucking, who cares?
You don't have to play it there.
Yeah, the people saying that are the people that are just out there to sort of dunk, rather than have the conversation. Yeah. And like, you can't just be happy that Nintendo people have access to this game that you evangelize. Whereas, now that people can play it, albeit at a lesser frame rate or whatever, you're playing the same game with worse graphics, whatever. If the game works, graphics don't matter. Last question, Hendrix Pasternak.
Favorite name.
Yes. How has E3 changed for you over the years? Do you still get excited for the potential? Do you think it's becoming irrelevant?
I still get excited, but it's not like as big of a deal for me as it used to be. I missed half the conferences this year because I worked. I used to take off work to watch it, and now I'm just like, I'll catch up when I get home. The only conference like I really wanted to watch was like the Nintendo one, but again, I worked and I just watched it when I got home. And, you know, I had a bunch of people like, you know, every 5 seconds, like Ed or Jesse or, you know, somebody was messaging me and was like, this just got announced, or this release date for this game, or this game just got announced or whatever. And I was like, all right, that's good enough for me.
So. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I was day sleeping and I wake up to my phone vibrating to people talking about E3, and I'm like, okay, not looking. I will engage when I have the chance. And I don't know if it was me this year, but it probably was me, but like I was just way less enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this same.
Yeah, this year was the same for me. Like I didn't. Like, I mean, I think, to be honest, I think Nintendo. I watched Microsoft. Obviously, I watched Square Enix last Monday, and then Nintendo. I took my lunch break to watch Nintendo, and like that was it. Usually, I'm watching like everything, you know.
Yeah.
And it might also have something to do with like Sony not being in it, and it might be because like people are trying to say it's a lull year, and it might be just because like Corey was saying we're going in. It's a transition year because we're going into the next console generation next year. So it's like, you know what I mean? We're seeing some games we've already seen we're going to be able to play on both consoles. So it's just kind of like, okay, you know, this is fine, you know. So I don't know. It's just it wasn't as exciting for me this year as it was last year.
It's probably my favorite E3 of about a couple of years. I'm just being honest. Like, it's just a me thing. It's so cool.
Dude, no,
as I get older,
like what you like, man.
Okay,
right.
When you're younger and you like something, or sorry, you don't like something, and you can't admit to someone else that like, oh, you like that band? Yeah, I don't like them. But then you go home and listen to the CD. Like, as I get older, I just care less, and I care less about like if someone doesn't like something I like, and so I can admit that I like these stupid things, like whatever. And when I'm watching E3, I just see all these games I think look really cool, and as I get older, my interests actually expand, and I think I just appreciate these games more. Whereas when I was younger, I just expected, oh yeah, that's whatever, Baldur's Gate. And then as I get older, and
Baldur's Gate, never dying, never.
I research how much goes into the making of these games, like how many people are working on these games, like crafting something like a world like The Witcher 3. Like when you see that, I appreciate these games both from like a game standpoint and a technical standpoint, like how hard it was to make this thing. And so I think it's just the older I get, I appreciate this hobby more. And so when I watched E3 this year, I just saw I saw something from Starmancer to Watch Dogs, completely different games, but I appreciated them so much. And I don't know, I just thought it was a really good E3 for me personally. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think the way E3 is run is probably becoming irrelevant. I don't think E3 itself is becoming irrelevant. Like I know that all of the publishers and companies, whatever, can stream it and reach more people than they will on the show floor at E3, despite E3 being letting consumers in now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I had to clear my throat. I do like the idea of one like specific time where everybody comes out and parades their stuff. I would love it if that didn't go away. Like if somehow like the industry itself like said, hey, let's do big conferences like where we're going to talk about the new stuff at this particular time, be it at a stage or curating a stream. I do like that, but also like if you take that away, there's actually it actually eliminates a lot more than just games press going somewhere to get to see a thing. Because like look at Night School, like the developers of Oxenfree. Like I didn't know they were putting on they had a game at E3 this year until Janina Gavankar said it at the very final segment on Giant Bomb. Like, I didn't know that they were following up Oxenfree till that. And
she's a writer on that, right? She's
she's an actor.
Oh, I thought she was helping to write that game also.
Maybe I don't know.
She was on another podcast at some point. And she was talking about that game.
I mean, I assume she was a voice actor just because like she's Shiva from the League.
Yeah.
And she was in Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I want the littler guys to have a place to come show their stuff. And I know that like there are PAX everywhere, but like if E3 disappears, then every PAX becomes overloaded with the big guys, and indies will have indies as a collective will be pushed off because they always are. And that's more of a revenue and demand thing than anything else. So, I mean, I don't think it's irrelevant, but I know that we're watching it change.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
We don't know where it's going to end up.
Yeah, E3 will change before it becomes irrelevant.
Yeah,
I think, and like maybe E3, like the ESA, won't have anything to do with it at some point. You know, like
I know they've talked about having the guys that run PAX buy it.
Yeah.
Which at that point, does it just become PAX LA? Do we need another PAX out there?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, there's already 4 PAXs every year, like, you know. So.
Right. So I don't know. I think we just change is not easy. And it's also often not quick. So
it's also not necessarily a bad thing.
Correct.
You know? Because like I also think like this year it's just getting to the point for me, it's just like there's so much to play.
There's too much to play.
I have a backlog of stuff to play, and now you're showing me more shit to pile on top of that stuff. I'm just like, I feel like I'm not excited about it because I'm an overload.
Yeah.
It's really like I'm overwhelmed, and that's why I'm just like, I'm excited that these games are out there, but I'm not as excited because I might not get to play them all.
Yeah.
Like Watch Dogs 3, like that looks cool, but you know what? I might be playing something else and I might not be able to touch that. You know,
I didn't finish Watch Dogs 1. Why am I going to go play Watch Dogs 3?
Yeah, exactly.
And nor do I care to at this point because they don't have Helen.
Yeah. I mean, I look at these games and I'm just like, okay, like, I mean, this is awesome. Like Dying Light 2. I'm excited for that, but then I'm like, am I going to play it? Mm-hmm. And I think also like a detriment to the industry is games as a service. Like I'm playing the hell out of Division 2 right now, but I'll guarantee that game is going to fall by the wayside as soon as I finish the platinum. Mm-hmm. Like I will not do any raids. I mean, I might load it up and play with our buddy Dom.
They matchmake a raid I'm in, but yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm like I don't have the time to play this game this much. You know what I mean? Like it's just not like there's so much other things to play. So I mean, and Borderlands 3 is coming out. So that is, I'm sorry, Division, but that has my attention.
All of this said, like I still think every one of us is excited for the potential.
Right.
We love hearing about stuff we don't know about.
Right, exactly. Like I didn't know about that Pistol Whip game until Matt said something, and I was like, "What? I want this game now because this game looks freaking awesome." Look at
Phantom Covert Ops, Stealth Kayak. That game looks good.
Stealth Kayak. All right, I'll look it up.
And they haven't said anything about PSVR, but please. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna do a very, very abridged game time. Everybody name one thing you've played this week. I'm gonna start. I played a shit ton of Cadence of Hyrule because I could not bring myself to play anything else. I'm going through a malaise since my Sekiro Platinum. Cadence of Hyrule is amazing, not because it's the Crypt of the Necrodancer things, but because it's not a roguelike. It's run-based, yes, and you lose everything you've picked up, yes, but you don't start over. Nothing is randomly generated as far as I've been able to tell. I've beaten a couple of the major bosses, and it's a really quick run through. And you can turn off all the rhythm stuff, as far as I know. So, but it is really, really fun. If you like Zelda, you should play it. And it's very Link to the Past style graphics, and it's very, very good. It's very fun. Anybody else? Go ahead.
I've been playing a shitload of Rising Storm 2.
Cool.
I love it.
I
don't know. Dude, I wish I could be that dedicated to one game. That's awesome.
Well, there's just some stuff that feels like home. And yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I'll look at my list and I'll be like, oh, that looks awesome.
I don't want to hear shit from you about Bloodborne, motherfucker.
I don't. No, well, if I mention Rising Storm 2 every episode for the next 150 episodes, then it'll make it a Bloodborne show. Anyways.
Hey, Corey, Phillips is going to stay around for 150 more episodes.
So, well, I got to see what my new contract offers. But
settle down, Kawhi
Leonard. Rising Storm 2, if people don't know, it's like a Vietnam battlefield kind of game. It's a low budget battlefield set in Vietnam, and it's awesome. I love it. It's got like 19,000 Steam reviews. It's a really fun game if you like hard shooters, which it is, and it's awesome. So that's what I've been playing.
Hard shooters.
Nice.
Speaking of hard shooters, Moose, what have you been playing?
Division 2.
It's on his license plate.
I've been playing Division 2.
With finger guns.
World Tier 5, trying to get to 500 and then work on the Platinum.
Nice. So. Nice. Corey?
I've been playing some Destiny 2 Season of Opulence content.
Ooh. Nice.
Which is,
every time someone mentions that, all I think of is those old DirecTV commercials. They're with like the Eastern European guy. Opulence. I has it.
No.
Oh, Kyo.
You should go look at it on YouTube. It's actually kind of funny, I think. But I'm probably the only one that still thinks that. Anyway, how's Season of Opulence?
It's more Destiny. It's fine.
Cool.
You know, I don't really have anything really to say about it. I'm not too far into it, but I've actually been helping Jesse Douglas level up his Guardian too, so we can play together. So it's been kind of fun replaying some stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's really it. I don't really know how much more I can say about Destiny. You know, it's Destiny.
All right. Well, we are into severely deep overtime, so we gotta go.
Whose fault's that, Matt?
It's probably mine. I don't know. Or maybe it's the technical difficulties we had trying to get.
That's true.
Maybe it's the extended pre-show we had.
Oh,
I mean, you know what? I do me, and I'm okay with my decisions, and I will deal with those consequences. But for now, this has been episode 150 of Nerds Gone Rogue. My name is Matthew Keel. You can find me everywhere at Infinite_Rewind. You can find our shows at nerdsgonerogue.com. youtube.com/nerdsgonerogue, and you can find us live at twitch.tv/nerdsgonerogue. Let's not forget the co-hosts, Nerds Gone Platinum's own Sven Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we find you?
You can find me at Sven everywhere I want to be, like American Express. You can also find me, Jason, and Jeff talking about the PlayStation platform on Tuesdays. We usually go live around 9. Video goes up Thursdays at 7. You can email us at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at ng_platinum. That's about that.
And the only Nerds Gone Rogue exclusive, Matt Phillips,
Captain Canada, a.k.a. Canadian Eye Candy.
Yeah. Where can we find you? I know you're not on Twitter.
Nope.
You can find him. You can find him in the Nerds Gone Rogue and Nerds Gone Platinum Facebook groups.
That's correct.
And on Steam.
Yes.
Where at on Steam?
Oh,
at your mother's house, Trebek.
Ignite X on Steam. Should you wish to play?
Nice.
If you wanna join in some hard shooting in Rising Storm 2, look for Ignite X.
That's correct.
Or not in Rising Storm. Whatever it's called.
Corey, take us home.
All right. You can find me at CoreyHT713 on Twitter and CoreyHT on Instagram and Twitch. You can also find me on the NX show and multiple other things happening on Nerds Gone Rogue. You can also find us on Twitter at Nerds Gone Rogue, on Instagram at Nerds Gone Rogue _official, youtube.com/Nerds Gone Rogue, and of course, nerdsgonerogue.com. You can subscribe to our show, rate us, review us, all that stuff. We're giving away Super Mario Maker 2. So
shit, I forgot about that.
You should enter that contest. So
mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made, Trebek.
We're giving that away next week, and I didn't talk about it at all. I'm such an asshole.
Your mother was a mistake, Trebek.
I mean,
anyways,
it's okay.
I want to thank everybody so much for watching and or listening and chatting with us live on twitch.tv/Nerds Gone Rogue. And until next week, we love you.
Banana and out. We can wait, Moose.
You're welcome.
There we go.